All right, guys, here's a little help on your math work. So we are going to click below to view Justin's toy collections. What is the measure of each insect to the nearest fourth inch? So the beetle, if I look, it is really closest to this 2/4. So I'm going to go down here and put in 2/4. Our ladybug is closest to this 1/4. And the butterfly is closest to the 3/4. Even though it's in between 3/4 and 4/4, it is closest to that 3/4. So now to find out how many dots or data points there are going to be, I have to go back and look at my picture, and it's going to tell me that there are 8 beetles. So I'm going to go ahead and get my marker here, and I'm going to write down 8. Let's see how many ladybugs there are. There are 4 ladybugs. And there are 7 butterflies. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 3 numbers together to find out how many total insects there are. 8 plus 4 equals 12, and 12 plus 7 equals 19. So my answer here would be 19. For part 3, it wants us to complete the line plot to show your data. So this is where I have to go back. So they're beetles and there are at 2/4. So at 2/4, I should have 8 lines. So I'm going to look at all of my pictures, look at 2/4 and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I already know it can't be this one. So I'm going to go here and go to 2/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it could be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can't be that one. So really, it's looking like it's going to be our B, because I know just looking at this that that's not 8. So let's go see how many ladybugs we are supposed to have. So we're supposed to have 4 ladybugs. So I'm going to go back here, and the ladybugs were at 1/4. So at 1/4, I'm going to look. Yep, there are 4. And then there's supposed to be 7 at 3/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is my correct answer. So even though I thought it was correct from the very beginning, I still went back and checked my other ones. And then how many more dots did you draw for beetles than butterflies? So whenever we see how many more, that is a subtraction question. So I'm going to look at the beetles and the butterflies. So the beetles are at 2/4. And the butterflies are at 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my 8 minus 7, which equals 1. So there is 1 more dot for beetles than for butterflies. For this problem, I have James arranges 45 buttons into an array. There are 5 rows of buttons. How many columns are there? So if you guys remember, when we make arrays, that's how we do multiplication problems. So if we have the total number and we have the rows, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I have 45 total. I would do my columns to figure that out, but that's a lot of drawing. So I can just do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to do 45 divided by 5, which equals 9. On this problem, it says John recorded the lengths of different pieces of paper to the nearest fourth inch. Which length of papers are the most common? So we see most, but in this problem, it is not talking about which length is the biggest or the most, because that would be 6, because we have 2 here, 6. What it wants to know is which lengths of papers are the most common, which is really focused here on our dots. So I want to find my dots that have the most, which if we look, these are the most, and I can tell that because they are the tallest. And so these are all going to be my answers. So 4 and 3/4 is going to be an answer. 5 is going to be an answer. And 5 and 1/4 is going to be an answer.